Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to review to you the 1998 stoner comedy classic, Half-Baked. Now first of all, you can see the cover's black and white. The movie itself is in color, but the cover's in black and white. Why it is, I don't know. Just deal with it. Imagine it's in color. The disc is in color, but for some reason the case is in black and white. And I did not see... Let me just be the first to say that I did not see this movie, this DVD. I watched it on Netflix because the DVD looked like it had a bunch of scratches on it. You guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see it, but this thing looks pretty scratched up. So I watched it on Netflix, and yeah. Let me just be the first to say, the first thing I'm going to say about this movie is I have never seen a stoner comedy film. I've never seen a stoner comedy film. I've never seen anything stoner. I do kind of know the formula, though, on how it works, because I've seen people take drugs in movies. And, I've heard this is a very funny movie, so I checked it out. And I do have to say that it is quite funny, and that I really did enjoy it. And it is very funny. The only problem I have with it is that it is a little too short. But, yeah. So, the other thing I'm going to say is that it's pretty much silly, the entire movie. It's not really serious at any time, but that's part of what made the movie so great. And it is a classic. I mean, it is definitely a classic, and I will get to that, but let's just start off with the plot. There sort of isn't really a big plot to this, but the basic plot is that, there are these four friends who basically, they're basically, they've been friends forever, and, this focuses on, Dave Chappelle's character, Thurgood, and his friends, Brian and Scarface, and basically, and Kenny, but basically what happens with Kenny is that Kenny, they have this thing called the Munchies, basically. And when they do this thing, the Munchies are basically like snack food. That's why people say Munchies now, probably because they've seen this movie. But Munchies basically, you know, I'm sure a lot of people know what Munchies are. And when Kenny goes to get the Munchies, he ends up feeding some of the Munchies to a horse and ends up killing a horse. And he ends up going to jail, basically. And so then the three of them basically try to find a way to bail him out of jail. And they basically decide that they're gonna try to sell marijuana stolen from a lab where Thurgood had worked in order to bail their friend out, basically. And that's basically what the movie is. It is definitely, though, as I said, it is very silly at times, and it's basically the plot, but there is a lot going on in here. So let's just get into the performances. First of all, we have Dave Chappelle. This guy, basically, he narrates the movie a lot. It's a narrative, and he's great. He's very, very funny. I've never seen the Chappelle Show. I've heard it's very funny, though. But he's hilarious in this movie. He was just really good. He was the perfect guy to lead this movie. At first, when I saw him, he kind of reminded me of Marlon Wayans or Shawn Wayans. But he's really nothing like them. And I think he is really good. He's got his own style, and he definitely has a really good style. So I really enjoyed his character. Then there's Jim Breuer as Brian. He was fine, and he was pretty funny. And then there's Scarface, who in my opinion was the funniest of the three. He just had some really great lines. I mean, not the funniest, but he definitely had some really great stuff. Played by Guillermo Diaz, and he was very funny. He has this one really great scene, and I'm sure a lot of you will remember he's basically like, F you. He's basically quitting his job, and he goes up to all his customers and like, F you, F you, F you, F you, you're cool, F you, F you, F you, I'm out. And that was definitely one of the most memorable scenes from here. It's very funny, and I really did enjoy that. So those are basically the performances. Nothing, like, huge or anything, but I definitely did enjoy the performances. Now, the other thing I really enjoyed were, of course, the fantasy sequences. And I mean, since they're, like, high the entire movie, I love it when the movie does things like that. And there's some really crazy, like, there's some crazy shit, basically, in here. And it's just really crazy. And when I say crazy, it's just like, what the hell is going on? One of the things that was really crazy was this one scene where they all just start floating in midair, and they're like, we're floating, and you can tell they're high as a kite, basically. Then there's another scene where a dog is flying. Then there's this scene where one of them basically keeps saying abracadabra, and everyone thinks he's high the entire time. And you know, they're basically high the entire time, and I really liked a lot of the fantasy sequences. There are just some really funny stuff in here, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Now the one thing that I did enjoy was there is this little subplot in here that was actually kind of interesting. Basically, the thing they have is called Mr. Nice Guy, and that's the thing that they're doing. That's the thing that they're doing, basically, is it's called Mr. Nice Guy. In the process, Thurgood, Dave Chappelle's character, basically finds this girl, MJ. And her name is MJ, Mary Jane Potman. And she basically discovers that he works for Mr. Nice Guy, but the twist is that her father is basically a drug addict, and she really doesn't want him to do the drugs, and so at the same time, he's basically trying to stop, and that was a little bit interesting, how he's trying to stop, and you can tell in the narration that he has stopped. As I said, he does narrate the film. You can definitely tell in the narration that he has stopped doing the drugs, and so basically, that's the subplot, and that was definitely very interesting. Yeah. Now, another one of the classic scenes in here has to do with, as I said, the fantasy sequences are just classic scenes. There's also this really funny montage towards the end of the movie where you basically hear the Batman theme song and all this crazy stuff is happening. That was just absolutely hilarious. I thought that was really funny. And the reason I say it's too short is because the way this movie ends. I did not like the ending. I mean, it just was weird, and it definitely is a weird movie. I would recommend that if you don't really like stoner movies, don't watch this. This is not the movie for you if you don't like those type of movies. It definitely, though, is a classic because of some of those scenes. It just is a little bit too short. I would have liked a little bit more in there, a little bit more fantasy sequences. Yeah. But that's basically the movie, and again, Half-Baked is definitely a classic, and I thought everybody was really funny. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Alright, so that's it for my review of Half-Baked. Let me know what you guys think of the movie. Do you think it's a classic? I think it's a comedy classic, so that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I think the next movie I'm going to watch is The Matrix, so I'll see you for that review. Okay, bye. Oh, I will record Pretty Little Liars and Twisted and review both of those for you tomorrow. So see you then. Bye.